Hi, I'm Jason Hamsher with Hamsher Insurance, and today we're talking about
Certificates of insurance.
new construction framing contractors get their certs rejected more often than almost any other trade. And it is not always because they are underinsured. It is because new construction GC contracts have some of the most demanding insurance requirements in the industry. Most framing subs have never had an agent walk through the insurance exhibit line by line. If you are a carpenter or framer working on new construction, this matters. I am going to walk through 5 common COI rejection reasons. 2 of them are specific to framing work, and they almost always surprise contractors. Carpentry and framing contractors work in a complex project environment. The GC is managing risk across dozens of subcontractors. Their insurance requirements reflect that complexity. You may see per-project aggregate limits. You may see additional insured wording on a per-project basis. You may see primary and non-contributory requirements across all layers. You may also see cancellation notice requirements that exceed standard policy terms. Most framing contractors started in a world where a basic GL policy and a COI were enough. New commercial construction has moved beyond that. The gap between a standard policy and a GC contract is where certs get rejected. Framing subs also get reviewed early in the project. Framing is one of the first trades on site. That gives the GC time to push back before the sub mobilizes. At Hamsher Insurance, we help carpentry and framing contractors review these requirements before the policy is bound. The GC insurance exhibit should be read before the cert gets rejected. The first issue is additional insured wording on a per-project basis. New construction GC contracts often require the GC to be listed as an additional insured for each project. That project may need to be shown on the endorsement. A blanket additional insured endorsement may not satisfy that requirement. This can become a real issue when you work under multiple GCs at the same time. Each GC may require a separate project-specific endorsement. You may need multiple endorsements instead of one blanket form. Most GC contracts also require CG 2010 for ongoing operations. They may also require CG 2037 for completed operations. For framing work, completed operations is especially important. Structural issues can surface years after the job is finished. The second issue is per-project aggregate limits. A standard GL policy usually has an annual aggregate. That means one large claim can reduce what is available for the rest of the year. On new construction projects, GCs often require the aggregate to apply separately to each project. If your policy does not include a per-project aggregate endorsement, the cert may be rejected. This is not something you fix on the certificate. It requires a policy change. There is also a related concern for production framers. If you are working on multiple homes under one contract, the GC may want extra confirmation. They may want to know that a claim on one home will not reduce coverage for the rest of the development. The third issue is named insured, limits, and primary and non-contributory status. The named insured on the certificate must exactly match the entity listed on the subcontract. Any mismatch can result in rejection. GL limits are often higher on new construction work. It is common to see requirements like $2 million per occurrence and $4 million aggregate. If your limits are below the contract requirement, the cert will be rejected. The fix usually requires updating the policy. Primary and non-contributory status must also be supported by an endorsement. Simply adding wording to the certificate is not enough. The fourth issue is waiver of subrogation and notice of cancellation. A waiver of subrogation means your carrier agrees not to pursue the GC for recovery. That matters even if the GC contributed to the loss. Without the right endorsement, the cert may be rejected. Notice of cancellation is another common problem. Many GC contracts require 30 days notice for any cancellation. That can include cancellation for non-payment. Standard policies often provide only 10 days notice for non-payment. Without an endorsement extending that notice, the cert may not meet the requirement. The fifth issue is umbrella coverage and indemnification alignment. Many new construction projects require higher umbrella limits. $5 million or more is not unusual on larger projects. The umbrella must be properly listed on the certificate. It also has to meet the contract requirement. Indemnification is the bigger issue. Many framing contracts include broad language. That language may make you responsible for more than your own negligence. You may pass compliance and still have a serious coverage gap. That is why the contract language matters. If you are bidding new construction framing work, bring the GC insurance exhibit to your agent. Also bring the subcontract language. Go through each requirement before the job starts. Review the per-project aggregate requirement. Review the additional insured forms. Review primary and non-contributory status. Review waiver of subrogation. Review cancellation notice wording. Review indemnification language. Make sure your policy actually supports what you agreed to. That is how framing contractors avoid cert rejection. And more importantly, that is how they avoid coverage surprises after a claim. If you found that helpful and you wanted to see what it would look like to work with us, feel free to connect. You can call, text, email, or click the link in the description below. Thanks.